Hi, I'm Suzanne Castle, and this is the Thought Leader Thursday. I'm here today introducing you to another incredible leader, thinker, doer, and all-around amazing human who's going to help each of us think about our world a little bit differently than anyone else. From artists to teachers, from actors to moms, from the big names to the you didn't know about them till now names, my hope is that you will connect with a leader who helps you light up in your corner of this galaxy. This is the Thought Leader Thursday show. Hi, welcome back to the Thought Leader Thursday. I am Suzanne Castle, creator and founder of The Sparkle Factor. And every time we meet at the Thought Leader Thursday, I introduce you to an amazing leader who's thinking about the world maybe a little bit differently than you are and introducing you to concepts and ideas that can help you shine. I cannot wait for you to meet our guest today. But before we launch into her amazingness, Garrett, I'm going to put it over to you because you just came back from vacation. You were in amazing Wyoming. I know you got stuck there for a couple of days because of weather related whatnot, but I know part of it was really helping your soul and your brain and your body rest. So tell me, when you're on vacation, what is your key to rest?
My key to rest is, I guess, mainly just kind of it sounds unwinding, doing whatever that is for you. So like for me, it was, I just went and saw my parents. I was in the town I grew up in. I got to see a few old friends. My best friend growing up, I'm the godfather to his two kids, so I got to see them. And then just being out kind of in nature there too was fun because I just moved to Dallas from Fort Worth, both cities, but Dallas is definitely much bigger. And so then going from the city of Dallas to the small town of Jackson, being around all the nature and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, this is like I can breathe.
Right.
And so, I think just getting out there doing that, watching movies, because that's something I enjoy doing. Every night I'd watch a different one. I'd show my parents some of my favorites, which was fun because my dad would be like, oh, I really like that. My mom was like, you like weird movies. So I guess just the back and forth too with them was relaxing and added to the whole experience of it.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And I love for us to think about rest because our guest today really does talk a little bit about working from rest and living out your God-sized goals. I cannot wait for you to meet Melony Buenger. She is a faith-based business development coach and speaker. She helps people put God in the foundation of their businesses and their goals. And what she is so wonderful at is igniting that fire that's deep down inside of you through all of her signature programs, how she speaks, private coaching, when she shows up in different mastermind groups. She works with entrepreneurs, with ministry leaders, influencers of all types who want to make a difference for the kingdom of God, and teaching people how to expertly care for every single component of business as well as your inner work along the way so you don't lose sight of your mission and your values. She is a national speaker who keeps everyone motivated from big stage to the little bitty stages, and she will help you know that you can achieve whatever it is that you desire when you understand your God-sized goals and you chase after them with all that you have. She's great at motivation, at leadership, at development, and accountability. Melony, welcome into our studio all the way from the Pacific Northwest. Thank you for making time for us today. How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me. It's amazing. I just love technology that we can connect from around the world and that we can just share our messages in even bigger ways that, that were not maybe open to some of us a few years ago.
Right. It truly is amazing. And I'm just glad that we do have this connection today that allows us to be in the same studio, even though we're not in the same state. Now, work-life balance is really a hot topic. You can Google it and you can find a bunch of hits that come up. I think because of COVID, people are paying more attention to their work life and how they want it to be balanced now as things are coming back or maybe not coming back or going back into isolation, wherever you might be in that. And so I know that that's something that you spend a lot of time talking about. So could you tell us a little bit, tell the audience about your work from rest process and model so that we could maybe apply some of those tidbits to our lives?
Well, thank you. I'm really passionate about this because this is something that changed my life. That really was life-changing for me. And so what I've learned to do is take a look at what is my values for my family and for my business, as well as my mission for my family and my business. And so kind of when I start working with somebody is I take a look at your calendar, or I'll have you take a look at your calendar right now and evaluate, who is doing what? And is this something that is filling you up? When you get done, like you just heard Garrett say, oh, I just watched some movies,
right? Or
I went out in nature. And taking a look at that and saying, when you get done with something, what is your feeling? And give yourself a scale on a 1 to 10. How are you feeling? And also, taking a look at your goals and evaluating, does this line up with my goals? Is this where I should be spending my time or putting my energy? And so that's one thing that I really have people do. And I actually help people schedule that work from rest first. So if you were to think of like a coffee cup or a teacup that had a saucer and that was full, if it was full to the rim, you think, oh, I'm full, I have more to give. Well, no, that's not true. Right. What you need to give is what is overflowing and what is in that saucer. And that's what we should be serving for. So we need to fill ourselves more up and work from rest first so that we have more to give. Yeah. And I really help people identify that. What are those things in your life that do that? And really taking a look at now as a time is much different, because what maybe filled us up before COVID is definitely different now.
Yes, I think
or
that
what
is,
we have access to.
Yeah, and I think that's so true. And I think people are paying attention to that in a different way. And I love how you're talking about, you really need to do a time accountability for yourself and understand what is, what I talk about is what is bringing you joy and is it bringing you life? And if it's not, maybe you need to find a way to either give it away or not do so much, or find another activity alongside of it so you don't just get stuck in the muck and the mire all the time. Because who's got time for that? Like nobody. We should, at the end of the day, be joyful about our lives. So I know when we first connected a couple of years ago, it was so great, and I just felt my soul get lifted up by you. And I should have brought it into the studio today. You gave me this wonderful coffee cup that I use all the time. It's pink, it's got glitter on it, I love it, and it just talks about being brilliant and showing up in a brilliant way, which I know that you do, and I'm so grateful for that and the ways that you've poured into me. And we talked a lot about the intersection of our businesses and our faith journey, and how sometimes we can feel a little alone in that, because the go-getter model all of the time sometimes leaves people in the dust. And that if we're going to serve really from hearts that are filled up with our faith, we also have to show up in business life a little bit differently than this person over here who's just about the almighty dollar. Not that that's bad, but what are you also doing with your almighty dollar to change the world? And I know we kind of share similar space in that. So I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit about God-sized goals, because I know you speak about it, you help people claim that and live into that in their life and their businesses. And I would really want to know, what is a God-sized goal?
Well, a God-sized goal is something that is so much bigger than you and I. A lot of times we have visions, but we don't know how we're going to manage that. So we're thinking, you might be saying, I don't have the time, I don't have the resources, or I don't know how I'm going to do that. But you have this burning passion inside of you to make a difference in the world. And so that is, I think what it is we just need to say yes. And so I have a FIG system that I help people go through to really understand what is how can I step into that? And what, where is it that I can say yes and be really open to it? Because it is something that is going to create a ripple effect and touch many and many lives. And a lot of times that goal, we may not, it may seem really big, but it even gets bigger. Right. And when we ask for help and we say, we share our vision and our mission, and we say, maybe we don't know how to do something, that's when it can be so much more powerful, because other people can use their gifts to come alongside us and bless more people to create income, impact, and influence.
Yes. And I love that. I know that we've talked before about the story of Nehemiah, and I know it's one of my favorite stories in the Bible, because Nehemiah, cupbearer to the king, and then suddenly he's, rebuilding this entire city on behalf of God, had no architect background whatsoever. But part of his journey was putting it out there, claiming it for himself, and then waiting for the skilled people to come alongside him to do the dream. And I know that is part of the work that you do, is not only allowing people to claim that, but then, okay, now what are you looking for? Because when we look for something, we find it, right? And when we're ready for people to come alongside us, suddenly they appear, and we have to be ready to welcome them into that space. And I know a lot of the work that you do with business owners really help them discover that for their own selves. And then you're creating this wonderful Christian network of businesses to help them really claim that. And I just think it's the work that you're doing is truly extraordinary and different from a lot of other things going on in the world. So I want to take the opportunity to shine a little bit on you because I know it's hard and it's difficult sometimes, but it really is valuable. And the work that you're doing with me is valuable too. And I know that because for the last couple of years, you have really gifted me with an opportunity to speak to these women who are business owners and are trying to do all the things and do it differently, really shine and pour back not only into their own selves and their families, but into their clients that they serve. And the movement that you're trying to create is called Be Radiant. Love that. Absolutely love that. You have these wonderful conferences called Be Radiant. And I would love if you would share a little bit about the Be Radiant movement and what you're trying to do.
Well, I am just really trying to help people identify what is their core belief or their value and help them step into that with confidence and know that they are chosen and that they each have a purpose. And I like to say that they have a God-sized plan for their lives. And as a community, we are boldly saying yes to our God-sized goals. And our mission is to be radiant, to bring light to the darkness, to give others hope and courage, and to walk by faith. I'm trusting God because I believe where He calls us, He will equip us, and that God's way and man's way, they're not the same. But together, we can help set other people free by being radiant and creating a ripple effect that is going to touch millions of lives around the world. And every day, I just try to help build women up so that they're equipped to armor up, to be faith walkers, to be prayer warriors, to be chain breakers, to be movement makers for wherever they are called, to be generation shapers, and to just bring that light so that they are radiant and that they are stepping into the calling that has been placed upon their life, and that we are all uniquely made, and that we can use our businesses to help build other people up and be the referral that somebody needs so that they can do exactly what they have been called to do.
You know, it's truly revolutionary what you're doing because you're allowing a space where women in business, whatever kind of business, can come together, share best practices, get retooled for going back out in practice, but saying we're going to do that from a faith perspective because it's so much more than, do you know how to do bookkeeping? It's, okay, you're doing bookkeeping. Now you've got a profit. Now how are you going to help do something with that money that's going to change the world and help other people be radiant too? And it really is an extraordinary mission that you're on. And I have been so honored to be on the stage alongside you, pouring into these women, and you have poured into me, and just the people that you're connecting, I know are really creating that impact that you talk about, that impact and that influence to really do something greater in the world. So I would love to know if people wanted to find out more about your programs, about having you come speak to different kind of groups, what is the best way to connect people to you, Melony?
Well, they could just go to my website, which is melonybuenger.com. And I'm sure you'll put that below.
I am going to drop that in. Yes.
Thank you. So just, reach out to me through my website, or you could, across any social media platform, it's melony.buenger. And shoot me a DM. I love to hear about people's God-sized goals. I love to just encourage them to see where they're at, but to come in and also bring encouragement and the help people see that they can step into where they're called to be. And also, the process of, igniting that goal and having accountability and the vision and the right support team around them to get there.
Yeah,
So
I love that so much. And I know that when you go and visit Melony at her website, she's got some goodies for you, some resources to help you on your journey. And she's truly a giver and a servant at heart. And I'm just so grateful. So I can't let you go without you telling me. I ask every guest that's on here what it means to sparkle. So what would you say to that question?
I think it's sharing your joy from within, being your true self authentically, and just walking into a room and looking for somebody who you can bless, and really just sharing hope and love and speaking truth to them so that their day is better.
And you do that every single day. And you've done that for me, and I've watched you do it for others. So you're doing a fabulous work. Now, here's what Melony didn't tell you, but I'm going to tell you, is that she runs these master classes. She makes them available for free, and they're on a rotation. So I know when you're watching this and checking this out, go to our website, find out more information, sign up. She is going to really pour into you and help you go after your goals in a way that no one else is doing. So Melony, thank you for giving us time today, being on with us, inspiring us with your actions, with your words, with the way that you're serving the world. You truly honor me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's so great. So before everybody hops off, I am excited to share that our next show is going to actually feature a female cybersecurity specialist who's really going to talk to us about how to keep things safe, how to look at your world a little bit differently as we are all online and doing all the cyber things. So I hope that you'll check out the next Thought Leader Thursday. I'm Suzanne Castle. Have a wonderful day.